Fida? Fida, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Shall we start? Teacher, start it. Teacher? Okay, start here. Start here. Start here. Okay, teacher. Can you hear me? Maya, here today? Yes. Binoy sir, shall we start?
Yes, ma'am, we can start. I'm ready.
Fida.
Okay. Hey everyone, very fine good afternoon. Myself, Vida Safiri, second year BA English student at Sree College, Chelannur. As we all know, today, March 21st of 2021 is celebrated as World Poetry Day, which was declared by UNESCO in 1999 with the aim of supporting linguistic diversity through poetic expression and increasing the opportunity for endangered languages to be heard. Its purpose is to promote reading, writing, publishing, and teaching of poetry throughout the world, and as original UNESCO declaration states, to give fresh recognition and impetus to national, regional, and international poetry movements. As part of this, the postgraduate Department of English, Sree College, Chelannur, have come up with Rhapsody, the Grand Poetry Reading Gala. First, I invite Ms. Archana Rajit of 2nd BA English for prayer. Archana, please.
God Almighty looks on us with love all the time, all the time. God Almighty looks on us with love all the time, all the time. He says I'm with you all the time. He says I'm with you all the time. I'm with you forever, I'm with you forever, I'm with you all the time. God Almighty looks on us with love all the time, all the time.
Now, I invite the head, PG Department of English, Dr. J. Maya Devi ma'am, to deliver the welcome address. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Fida. Very good afternoon to everyone who have gathered here. Respected Chairperson, Dr. Devagiri ma'am, today's chief guest, Captain Binoy Varakil, Ms. Adma Jayaprakash, Ms. Sangeeta Ji Nair, student coordinators of this poetry festival, participants, dear colleagues, and my dear students. It's a pleasure to be here to welcome the distinguished gathering on the occasion of the World Poetry Day. The World Poetry Day is celebrated every year on the 21st of March. As Fida has rightly said in her introductory remarks, a decision to proclaim the 21st of March as the World Poetry Day was adopted during the 30th session of the UNESCO held in Paris in 1999. This was what it said. In celebrating World Poetry Day, March the 21st, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization recognizes the unique ability of poetry to capture the creative spirit of the human mind. One of the main objectives of the day, as the UNESCO has envisaged it, is to support linguistic diversity through poetic expression and to offer endangered languages the opportunity to be heard within their communities. So, actually, we should be reciting poems in the indigenous languages today. And the UNESCO says, poetry reaffirms our common humanity by revealing to us that individuals everywhere in the world share the same questions and feelings. Poetry is the mainstay of oral tradition and over centuries can communicate the innermost values of diverse cultures. The observance of World Poetry Day is also meant to encourage a return to the oral tradition of poetry recitals, to promote the teaching of poetry, to restore a dialogue between poetry and the other arts such as theatre, dance, music, and painting, and to support small publishers and create an attractive image of poetry in the outdated form of art, but one which enables society as a whole to regain and assert its identity. Now, with this introductory words, let me first of all welcome Dr. Devagiri ma'am, our principal, who readily agreed to have this kind of an online oral festival. As always, she has been extending all kinds of support to conduct programs of this sort. Ma'am, a cordial welcome on behalf of the department.
Thank you, Maya.
Today, we celebrate this Poetry Day with Captain Binoy Varakil, who has proved time and again his mettle as a writer. He writes both in English and Malayalam. He has penned numerous poems and has, to his credit, several anthologies like Born in October, Life and Beyond, Birds and a Girl, Stone Rivers, Here is Light, Voice in the Wind, A Sparrow Squirrel and an Old Tree, all anthologies of poems, and The River That Carries Gold, which is a collection of short stories. Then an English novel, Mountains, Rivers and Soldiers for God and the World, which is his debut novel, and other works like The Songs of Gethsemane, My Unlucky Girl, and other poems. And his Malayalam creations include Pugati Nimalakha, Vishuddhagelan, Mulankaatile Devam, and Kavithayum Kavi. He has got several awards too, like the Lipi Literary Award and the Abraham Lincoln Excellence Award. We are really lucky to have Captain Binoy as the chief guest to inaugurate this festival. He will be inaugurating by reciting his own poems. Let me extend a warm welcome to you, Captain Binoy Varakil, on behalf of the department and also on behalf of the entire college. Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
And next, let me welcome Ms. Atma Jayaprakash, IQAC Coordinator, Ms. Sangeetaji Nair, Assistant Professor, Department of English, who will be felicitating the program, and I hope with poems, and other colleagues of the department and the college, and my dear student participants and coordinators of this program, and all my dear students who are eagerly looking forward to listen to the captain's invaluable words and his poems. And I hope another connoisseur who is a poet himself will also join us soon, and that is the Kozhikode District Treasury Officer, Mr. Gaganan. So we are looking forward to hear from Mr. Gaganan too. So welcome all of you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I invite the Honorable Principal of Inaugural College, Chelannur, Dr. Devagiri ma'am, to deliver the presidential address. Ma'am, please.
Thank you. Respected chief guest for today, Dr. Binoy, Captain Binoy, sir, Head of the Department of English, Dr. Maya Devi, Team English, the faculty, young, vibrant faculty of English, District Treasury Officer Changan sir, and other colleagues from various departments, and my dear students. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm very happy to see that the Postgraduate Department of English is organizing such a grand gala of poetry in the World Poetry Day itself. And then, first of all, let me congratulate the head of the Department of English, Dr. Maya, and her team who have worked behind this. And of course, I can see from the introduction by your student Fida, that you have set all your students in motion in this regard. So, English department, the PG department of English has been organizing several programs the last few years. I've been the principal for the past 3 years, and all these 3 years I've seen that Dr. Maya Devi and her team have been coming up with various programs, mostly academic programs, and I'm happy for that. And I'm not taking much time because I am not a poet, nor am I an English writer. But I'm happy to see that the chief guest for today, Captain Binoy, is a person who is a writer both in English and Malayalam. That is a rare capability, which I envy, of course, in a positive way. And before signing off, I should put in a word. It is a secret actually. When I completed my pre-degree course and I was applying for degree, I too wanted to take up English as my subject, as my main subject. And I was supported in this by my aunt, my mother's elder sister. She was an English professor, so she supported me. And I was very keen to take English as my main subject. But unfortunately, both my parents, being botany graduates, they objected to it and they forcefully made me take botany. And so that is how I came into botany. And of course, I started loving the subject once I was in it. But still, even now, all these years I have been teaching in various SN colleges. And when I walk through the corridors of the college where I'm teaching, I feel sad when I hear an English teacher taking class. I feel the love, and I still feel it. So I should tell that because I have taken a science subject, and I know from experience that once you take up a science subject or a hardcore subject, you have to learn, you have to push yourself to learn, etc. Feeling a bit bored, but then you have to learn and study, of course. But English is something where you can learn a lot with happiness. You learn with leisure and pleasure, I feel. So you people, my dear students, are very lucky in that manner that you have chosen a beautiful subject. You are lucky enough to have got this subject. And so I hope that you will utilize such chances which your department gives you. They give you a lot of chances, I know, and you should take all these chances with thankfulness, and you should with enthusiasm, and you should go ahead. And I hope that after listening to our esteemed guest, you will also be motivated to try. Those who have not yet tried, a little poetry also would be good, and let you become someone great with reading as well writing skills. Read voraciously and start writing, motivated by people like him. And all the very best to you. Thank you.
Am I audible, everybody? Honorable Principal Dr. Devi Priya V, respected Dr. J. Maya Devi, Head of the Postgraduate Department of English, IQAC Coordinator, Professor Atma Jayaprakash, Ms. Sangeeta G. Nair, Assistant Professor, Department of English, A. Rishi Shankar, respected teachers, staff, and dear students, a warm good afternoon to everybody. Congratulations to Dr. J. Maya Devi and the teachers and the students of the Postgraduate Department of English, Sree Narayana Guru College, Chelannur, Kozhikode, for organizing and commencing a festival of poetry on this World Poetry Day. All of you deserve abundance of appreciation because only Sree Narayana Guru College, Chelannur, Kozhikode celebrates the World Poetry Day today. Yes, we have hundreds of famous universities and colleges, but not many of them, or I don't know if any of them are celebrating the International Poetry Day. How many of us know the significance of 21st March Sunday, the World Poetry Day? Anyway, I salute each of you for this grand poetry reading gala. Congratulations. Let me express my sincere gratitude to the management, the principal, the head of the department, staff, and dear students for this valuable invitation and opportunity given to me. Dr. J. Maya Devi has always been a great support and encouragement to me. I remember some of my book launch ceremonies in which Dr. Maya Devi and family were the first buyers of my books. Thanks a lot, dear ma'am, for your support, encouragement, and love. You have always promoted me, encouraged me. Thank you very much. Let me also congratulate all those young poets of the college who have written poems to recite in this poetry festival. I request you, like your principal right now asked you to be inspired from people to write more poems and try to recite and publish. Also try to, of course, organize functions like this. Yes, this rhapsody is really very, very meaningful. Now, let's just think a little bit about World Poetry Day. Yes, all of you, like our principal, the head of the department, and some of you spoke about the significance of World Poetry Day. Why do we observe the World Poetry Day? I would request, I think some of you have kept your mic turned on. If you just turn it off, of course, it would be more comfortable for everybody to listen. Somebody's mic is turned on now. Okay, so that is causing some problem, right? So would you please mute that mic? All right, thank you very much. Right. Okay, so what is the significance of the World Poetry Day? As you have said, as we all know, this day aims to promote linguistic diversity. A number of languages of the world become extinct year by year globally. I don't know if any of you read in the Hindu newspaper 2 weeks before about the number of languages that become extinct in India alone. If I'm sure, I think 97 languages of India just become extinct. So languages day by day become extinct. Why? And of course, there are many reasons for the extinction of these languages, and we have to understand the fact that on World Poetry Day, UNESCO deliberates to give an opportunity to the endangered languages to express themselves as well as their culture with the help of poems and poetry. And hence, let me say, my dear friends, in my inaugural speech, I'm not going to talk much about the English or British poetry because we know what the British have done to the languages of the third world countries. Yes, the timing of Rhapsody, this grand poetry festival, is very, very appropriate because of the World Poetry Day, but other than that, many other significant reasons. And one of the reasons among the many is we lost such a great poet on 25th February 2021. I know you may have forgotten that great professor of English, but I'm sure these lines of that great professor, the Malayalam poet, will help you to recognize who he is. I quote, ഭൂമിയോടൊട്ടി നിൽക്കുമ്പോൾ ഭൂമി ഗീതങ്ങൾ ഓർക്കുവാൻ ഭൂമി എന്നാൽ എനിക്കെന്റെ കുലപൈതൃകമല്ലയോ. These are the lines from the poem Pidruyanam. And these lines are from the great poet of Malayalam, one of the great professors of English, Professor Vishnu Narayanan Nambudiri. Yes, I'm sure you are celebrating this great poetry day just because of such a great professor and poet of our Malayalam language and a professor of the English language. And I'm so happy to say that Professor was a student of the college where I work, St. Joseph's College, Devagiri, and Professor was also a teacher here for some time. And I'm sure Professor's blessings are with all of us. Yes, look at the lines. ഭൂമിയോടൊട്ടി നിൽക്കുമ്പോൾ ഭൂമി ഗീതങ്ങൾ ഓർക്കുവാൻ ഭൂമി എന്നാൽ എനിക്കെന്റെ കുലപൈതൃകമല്ലയോ. I'm sure no romantic or nature poetry can be equal to these lines of Professor Vishnu Narayanan Nambudiri. Look at them. Look at them. I would say Wordsworth, Coleridge, Shelley, Keats, or any of them. They have, of course, written great poetry. But these four lines helps us to understand the greatness of our own Professor Vishnu Narayanan Nambudiri. And I'm requesting my dear students in the Department of English of Chelannur College, as well as the students of other departments, to read and promote the poetry of Professor Vishnu Narayanan Nambudiri or poets like Professor Vishnu Narayanan Nambudiri. Now, let me quote William Hazlitt. Hazlitt said, "Poetry is all that is worth remembering in life." Poetry is all that is worth remembering in life. Yes, Professor Vishnu Narayanan Nambudiri has immortalized all that is worth remembering in life in his verse. Poetry is a deal of joy and pain and wonder with a dash of the dictionary, said Khalil Gibran. I repeat, poetry is a deal of joy and pain and wonder with a dash of the dictionary. And if so, how can we restrain ourselves from celebrating the poet who sang? I quote, "ആരു ചവിട്ടി മറിപ്പൂ നിൻ ഉൾക്കോവിലിലെ കാർമുകിലൊളി വർണ്ണനെ." ആരു ചവിട്ടി മറിപ്പൂ നിൻ ഉൾക്കോവിലിലെ കാർമുകിലൊളി വർണ്ണനെ. ആരു പഴിപ്പൂ നിൻ വിഷമലരുകളാലെ മാല കൊരുപ്പോളെന്നും. ആരു നിന്നിപ്പൂ നീ സഹജാതരെ വേറെ വേറെ കാൺമോളെന്നും. I repeat, ആരു ചവിട്ടി മറിപ്പൂ നിൻ ഉൾക്കോവിലിലെ കാർമുകിലൊളി വർണ്ണനെ. ആർ നിന്നിപ്പൂ നീ സഹജാതരെ വേറെ വേറെ കാൺമോളെന്നും. These are the lines of Sugata Kumari Amma from her great poem Pavam Tavaga Hridayam. Of course, Sugata Kumari Amma has Pavam Manava Hridayam as well, but this is from the very individual poem Pavam Tavaga Hridayam. Yes, yes, dear friends, let's celebrate the poetry of Sugata Kumari Amma, the greatest poet of Malayalam, the greatest poet of world literature. Now, Theodore Rothko, the great American poet, said, "You must believe a poem is a holy thing, a good poem that is." You must believe a poem is a holy thing, a good poem that is. If a good poem is a holy thing, how can we forget the bard who authored these lines? ഒരു കണ്ണീർക്കണം മറ്റുള്ളവർക്കായി ഞാൻ പൊഴിക്കവേ ഉദിക്കയാണ് എൻ ആത്മാവിൽ 1000 സൗരമണ്ഡലം. ഒരു പുഞ്ചിരി ഞാൻ മറ്റുള്ളവർക്കായി ചെലവാക്കവേ ഹൃദയത്തിൽ ഉലാവുന്നു നിത്യ നിർമ്മല പൗർണമി. Look at that. ഒരു കണ്ണീർക്കണം മറ്റുള്ളവർക്കായി ഞാൻ പൊഴിക്കവേ ഉദിക്കയാണ് എൻ ആത്മാവിൽ 1000 സൗരമണ്ഡലം. ഒരു പുഞ്ചിരി ഞാൻ മറ്റുള്ളവർക്കായി ചെലവാക്കവേ ഹൃദയത്തിൽ ഉലാവുന്നു നിത്യ നിർമ്മല പൗർണമി. Yes, let us celebrate great poet Akhitam Achyutan Nambudiri. Poetry is at the bottom a criticism of life, that the greatness of a poet lies in his powerful and beautiful application of ideas to life, to the question how to live, said Matthew Arnold. And hence we have to celebrate the Mia poetry, the poetry of the Northeast, the poetry of Assam. And we have to celebrate the poetry of Hafiz Ahmad, Kabir Ahmad, and Shalim M. Hussain, because their poems are about the tormenting problems of people in the Northeast. Now, on this great International Poetry Day, let's also celebrate Louise Elizabeth Glock, the American poet and essayist who won the 2020 Nobel Prize in Literature. I'm reciting the poem The Red Poppy by Louise Glock because Louise Glock, the 2020 Nobel Prize laureate, has a lot of significance in contemporary literature because Louise Elizabeth Glock is also a feminist writer. I recite The Red Poppy, a small poem of Louise Elizabeth Glock. The Red Poppy. The great thing is not having a mind, feelings. Oh, I have those. They govern me. I have a Lord in heaven called the sun, open and for him, showing him the fire of my own heart, fire like his presence. What could such glory be if not a heart? Oh, my brothers and sisters, were like me once, long ago, before you were human. Did you permit yourself to open once, who would never open again? Because in truth, I'm speaking now the way you do. I speak because I am shattered. I speak because I am shattered. We can see a lot of similarities between the poetry of Louise Glock and Subhadakumari Amma. Glock honestly delineates how Americans encounter endurance, love, and existential crisis and problems, whereas Subhadakumari Amma depicts how the world faces the same endurance, love, and existential problems. And I would say Subhadakumari Amma must be appreciated as the Nobel laureate is appreciated, because Subhadakumari Amma's poetry has greater significance. But maybe all her poems are not translated into English, or maybe she writes in Malayalam. The poetry is not much recognized. Let's celebrate poetry and poets. Let us remember all the poetry. Let us enjoy all the poetry that is written all over the world. Of course, we have the great British poetry, we have the great American poetry, we have, of course, the Western poetry that comes from Italy and France, and likewise, we have also have poetry that comes from Sri Lanka. We have lots of poetry that come from each and every state of India. We have great poetry that come from very many dialects of Kerala, or like very many dialects of Malayalam. It is the duty of each of us to read and enjoy the indigenous poetry, especially the kind of poetry that comes from the tribal languages of Kerala, as well as the tribal languages of India. So too, of course, the tribal languages of the world. Yes, I'm so happy that I could join this great international World Poetry Day celebration. I wish you all the best. May great poets and great poetry be born from each of you there in the Chelannur Sree Narayana Guru College. With your permission, I declare that I have inaugurated Rhapsody, the grand poetry reading Gyaga. Now, of course, as you want me to do, I'll recite one of the poems I wrote this morning. In fact, yesterday evening, I was, of course, thinking, yeah, it's very difficult, right? I was reading the theoretical book by Louis Glock the other day, which is, of course, titled Proofs and Theories. In fact, a collection of essays on poetry. This is the book by Louis Glock. In fact, as I was reading, the Nobel laureate was admitting the fact that it is very difficult to write something. Yes, each of us, I'm sure each of us, everybody wants to write, right? Maybe people, yeah, are envious of writers. Maybe people are envious of great writers, but we have to understand that there are great many writers who are not recognized and appreciated worldwide. And it's not very easy to create such kind of fame and recognition, my dear students. Maybe, of course, you're not going to be recognized or appreciated or not promoted and encouraged and read, right? But what you can do is, if you have a great urge to writing, to write something, please do that. So today, of course, I would request you, each of you, God's grace, you are educated, you are talented, you are inspired, you are motivated, and you don't have to get any more motivation or inspiration. And today, of course, you should swear unto yourself that I will try to write something. And whatever you write, please show it to your professors. You have many great professors there, from your head of the department, Dr. J. Maya Devi, to, of course, Professor Sangeeta Jaya. These are, I mean, they're all, I know Sangeeta ma'am also writes a lot of literature. Okay, so just show them. And once you have, dear students, if you have written a poem, maybe just read in your class, read it in your class. In your literature classes, please don't limit yourself to discussing maybe Sylvia Plath or Virginia Woolf or maybe John Fowles or maybe Louis Gluck, the Nobel Prize contemporary present 2020 Nobel laureate, or any writers. Maybe, of course, you would be discussing Malayalam writers. As don't limit yourself to discussing great poetry alone. Discuss your poetry, and I'm sure sooner than later we shall have great poet from Chelannur SN College. And that's my prayer, that's my wish. And now, of course, as I said, I didn't want to, of course, write. I thought I may not be able to write a poem for this World Poetry Day, but God's grace, I would say God's grace. This morning, right, Sunday morning, I was, of course, I did not keep my alarm on. It was turned off, and I slept this morning up to 7:30, right? Normally I wake up early in the morning at 4. Of course, I do some writing and reading, but today, of course, because it's Sunday, I was, of course, upset that I didn't write anything in the evening, right? But I thought maybe I'll read, of course, an old poem from an anthology. I thought that way. But morning, When I woke up, my beloved came to me and said, Binoy, just go and write a poem because you have the function today. And yes, and she said that she's not going to give me a cup of coffee if I don't write the poem. Okay. And because I wanted a cup of coffee in the morning, I wrote this poem. Yes, that's the, of course, experience behind writing this poem. And remember, that is not the experience, right? Greater experience is, or rather, greater experience was deep down in my heart. All the pain, all the angst, all the worry, all the turbulence that, yes, the very pandemic created. And my poem is about maybe the COVID-19. Its title, Come, Wake Up, It's a Sunday. Let me recite. Come, wake up, it's a Sunday. Someone pulls the black blankets that enshrouded the burden of the past. I could not recognize her, but the voice was Eve's. She had a mysterious mask. Someone pulls the black blankets that enshrouded the burden of the past. I could not recognize her, but the voice was Eve's. She had a mysterious mask. Come, wake up, it's a Sunday, twittered the sparrows, more than a dozen of them, from an empty harvested farm. Warm, milky vapor fogged from beneath the black mask. The farm was bleak, the morning barren, except for the sparrows. Come, wake up, it's a Sunday, twittered the sparrows, more than a dozen of them, from an empty harvested farm. Warm, milky vapor fogged from beneath black mass. The farm was bleak, the morning barren, except for the sparrows. Come, wake up, it's a Sunday, echoed the cooings of a lonely cuckoo from amidst the dangling dark branches of jackfruit tree in the backyard. The invisible black hands of the wind lifted dust and dirt from the barren earth and masked all the leaves of the green. Come, wake up, it's a Sunday, echoed the cooings of a lonely cuckoo from amidst the dangling dark branches of a jackfruit tree in the backyard. The invisible black hands of the wind lifted dust and dirt from the barren earth and masked all the leaves of the green. Come, wake up, it's a Sunday. I offered a cup of sweet black coffee, but my 8-year-old turned her head away and put on a wrinkled black mask of riddles. Am I Oedipus or Lear or Hamlet? She an Electra. A kingfisher perched on the withered barren branches of a dismal tree in the front yard. The bird was not blue, but black, as dark dust masked its wings. Come, wake up, it's a Sunday. I offered a cup of sweet black coffee, but my 8-year-old turned her head away and put on a wrinkled black mask of riddles. Am I Oedipus or Lear or Hamlet? She an Electra. A kingfisher perched on the withered, barren branches of a dismal tree in the front yard. The bird was not blue, but black and dark dust masked its wings. Come wake up, it's a Sunday. Come wake up, it's a Sunday, twittered the sparrows. They were searching for red fat termites among a heap of thrown away moss. Come wake up, it's a Sunday, twittered the sparrows. They were searching for red fat termites among a heap of thrown away moss. Yes, yes, black dust, dirt masked their shaggy wings. Yes, black dust, dirt masked their shaggy wings. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Okay, over to you.
So much, sir. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. We are so lucky to have you here with us on this poetry day. Again, thank you so much. Now, I invite Ms. Atma Jaiprakash, IQAC coordinator, for her valuable felicitatory recitals. Ma'am, please.
Atma, are you there? Atma is not here. Okay, she hasn't joined yet. I should move on to the next.
Okay. Now comes Ms. Sankita G. Nayak, Assistant Professor of English, Sree Guru College, Chelannur, to deliver the felicitatory recitals. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, sir. A very good afternoon to one and all, especially our chief guest, Binoy sir. It was a pleasure listening to you. Thank you so much. And being part of the department, being a faculty from the Department of English, I am happy and proud to participate in this poetry recital extravaganza, Rhapsody. And I wish all the very best to the session, poetry reading session today. And I congratulate my dear students for organizing this program, even though I know, of course, the idea and the blueprint is from our beloved HOD, Dr. Maya Devi. And we all have heard of poetry, World Poetry Day, about poetry and all. So let me ask you one question. So far, we have heard anything about many quotes, many about poets and many poems. So what is a poem? So when you look into the dictionary, you will see it's a literary work in which the expression of feeling and ideas is given intensity by the use of distinctive style and rhythm. And you have seen Captain Binoy quoting Gibran. And when you ask Wordsworth, he will say, no, poetry, spontaneous overflow, powerful emotions, recollected in tranquility. So, whatever be the definitions of poem, we all know it gives immense pleasure. So, let us read, let us promote, let us recite, and let us celebrate poetry on this World Poetry Day. So let me also recite a poem, and it is not mine because when I recite my poem, it will be lengthy. So I'm going to read a poem by the poet Arundhati Subramanian. She is a Chennai-based poet, and she's a feminist poet and activist, and she has won so many awards. And her poem is titled Home, and it was published in 2003. So in that poem, she says she wants a home. She needs a home in which she need not worry about the plumbing, the color of the curtains, the cleaning and washing and mopping and all. She just wants freedom. She just wants free space, breathing space in her home, the four walls of her home. And we all know very well that women are always confined in the four walls of home. So then it is not a a place for absolute freedom, belongingness, happiness and peace and all. Of course, they get all these, and plus they have all the worries, the cleaning, washing, cooking, and all. They are all confined to women. So this is a feminist poem, and it provides it focuses on feminine existentialism. So this is the poem. So when I say the word plumbing, it reminds me of the film The Great Indian Kitchen directed by Gio Baby. It's a Malayalam movie. You must have seen that movie. That movie also, the main character is always worried about the plumbing problem in the kitchen. So it's a small poem of only 17 lines. It is Home by Ayutthaya Subramanian. Give me a home that isn't mine, where I can sit in and out of rooms without restraints. A home that isn't mine, where I can sit in and out of rooms without restraints. Never worrying about plumbing, the color of the curtains, the cacophony of books by the bedside. A home that I can wear lightly, where the rooms aren't clogged with yesterday's conversations, where the rooms aren't clogged with yesterday's conversations, where the self doesn't bloat to fill in the crevices. Oh, like this body, so alien when I try to belong, so hospitable when I decide I am just this. Oh, like this body, so alien when I try to belong, so hospitable when I decide I am just this. Thank you all. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Sangeeta ma'am. Now, after all these great felicitations, we move on to the grand poetry reading gala, which are carried out by the students of our college. Here, it starts with Miss Nikita of 2nd MA English with the poem I Am the People, the Mob by Carl Sandburg, which comes under the honor 3 words.
Nikita?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I am the people, the mob, by Carl Sandburg. I am the people, the mob, the proud, the mad. Do you know that all the great work of the world is done through me? I am the working man, the inventor, the maker of the world's food and clothes. I am the audience that witnesses history. The beat came from me and the Lincoln, did I? And then I sent forth four Napoleons and Lincoln. I am Caesar. I am a prairie that will stand for much plowing, terrible storms pass over me. I forget. The best of me is cut down and wasted. I forget. Everything but death comes to me and makes me work up and give up what I had, and I forget. Sometimes I vow. Shake myself and spatter a few red drops of history to remember then crowd, the crowd, the man will arrive there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. Now it's time to listen a short poem recited by Sahana P. of 2nd BSc Physics titled My Mother at 66 by Kamala Das.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm here to recite the poem My Mother at 66, written by Kamala Das. Driving from a path of the Christian the last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. Tears of a monster, her face ashen like that, of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. But soon put that thought away and looked at young. Trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after security checks, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan and pale, at the late winter's moon. My childhood fell. All I said was to see you soon, Amma. All I did was smile and smile and smile. Thank you.
Thank you, Sahana. Now comes Gayatri Vivi of 2nd BA English with the poem Ariel by Sylvia Plath, which comes under the category 3 words.
Ariel, stasis and darkness, then the substances bloom over of store and distance. God's likeness, how are you, Guru? Pivot of needs and needs, the furrow, split and process. Sister to the brown arc of the neck I cannot catch. Nicolai berries casting dark, hopes black sweet like mouthful, shadows. Something else holds me through air, ties hair, flakes from my heels. White Godiva I unpeel, death hands, death's regencies, and now I come to meet a glitter of seas. The child's cry melts in the wall, and I am the arrow, the dew that flies. So beside let one with the dry, into the red eye, the cauldron of money. Thank you.
Thank you, Gayatri. Now it's time for Miss Nida Siddiq of 1st MA English, and she comes with the poem In Love by Kamala Das, which comes under the category 3 words.
In love. What part does the burning mark of sun burning in today's sky remind me? Oh yes, his mouth, and his skin is like pale and carnivorous plants. The sad lie of blood of my unending love. Will strong, excuse, or even need for love. Poison each embrace a complete so. When I lie mouth on mouth, I ignoring my poor moody mind. While pleasure we celebrate peace, harsh pain to the at noon I would sleep go, lying like poison on wind. And at night, from behind the boatman road, the box bearers cry, boy, hurry, boy. Sky is listening for the moonless night, while I walk the veranda of sleep. A million questions awaken me, and all about him, and the communicators not against his presence, all about.
Thank you, dear. Now here comes Miss Gauri Nanda of 2nd BA Malayalam with the Sonnet 18 of William Shakespeare. Gauri, please.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's leaves hug all too short a day. Sometime too hot the eye of Helen shines, and often has his gold complexion dim. And every fair from fair sometimes declines, by chance, a nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fail thou owest. Nor shall death brag though undressed in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou crowest. So long as none can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this give life to thee. Thank you.
Thank you, Gauri. Now comes Abhinav of 2nd BSc Maths with the poem "Oh Captain, My Captain" by Walt Whitman, which is an elegiac poem.
Good evening. Oh Captain, my Captain, how fearful trip distance. The ship was weathered, heavy racked, the prey we sought is what. The port is near, the bell I hear, the people are exulting, while follow ice and steady keel, the vessel came and sharing. But our heart, hurt, for breeding drops of bread, where on the deck, a captain lies, fallen, cold and dead. Oh Captain, my Captain, rise up, hear the bells, rise up, for you the fog is full, for you the buckle cheers, for you the cats and ribbons to wave, for you the shores are snoring, for you cold, playing mad, the eager faces turning, the Captain, your father, their arms beneath your head, it is same dream that on the day you're fallen, cold and dead. My Captain does not answer, his lips are pale and still. My father does not feel any arm, he has no pulse, nor will. The ship is anchored, safe and sound, its waves loose and done. From fearful trip, its victor ship comes in with object one. Excellent, for shoes, the ring of bells, but I with it, moderate, what the deck my Captain lies, fallen, cold, and dead. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhinav. Next is Miss Anuvinda of 2nd MA English with the poem "Phenomenal Woman" by Maya Angelou, which is a lyrical poem.
Phenomenal woman. Preterment wonder were my secret lights. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion or a size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman. That's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please. And to a man, the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swam around me, a hive of honey bees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman. That's me. When themselves have wondered what they see in me, then they try so much, but they can't touch my inner strength. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say, it's the arch of my back, the supple of my smile, the ride of my breast, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman. That's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I didn't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me pausing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's in the click in my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need for my care. I'm a woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman. That's me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, dear. Here comes Miss Gayatri GR of 1st BSc Botany with the poem "Purchase" by Robert Frost, which comes under the genre blank verse.
hit upon themselves as the breeze rises and turns many colors, as the steel cracks and creases their enamel. Soon the sun's warmth makes them shed crystal shells, shattering and avalanching on the snow crest. Such heaps of broken glass beat it. You would think the inner dome of heaven had fallen. They are trapped, the withered bracken by the law, and they seem not to break, though once they are born. Thank you.
Thank you, Gayatri. Next, I invite Miss Aisha Hina of 2nd BA English to recite the poem PR7 by William Wordsworth, which is a narrative poem.
We are seven, sisters and brothers to me. How many will you be? How many? Seven in all, she said. And one tree looked at me. And where are they? I prayed tell. She answered, seven are we. And two of us at corridor and two are gone to see. Two of us in the churchyard line, sister and my brother. And in the churchyard cottage, I dwell near them with my mother. You say that two at Conway dwell and two are gone to see. Yet you're seven. I pray you tell, sweet maid, how this may be. Thank you.
Thank you, Hina. Now I invite Miss Adhya T of 2nd BCom with the poem Ode on Intimations of Immortality from Recollections of Early Childhood by William Wordsworth, which is an ode.
There was a time when meadow, brook and stream, the earth and every common sight to me did seem apparent in celestial light, the glory and freshness of a dream. It is not now as it had been of yore, turn wheresoever I may by night or day. The things which I have seen now can see or more. The rainbow comes and goes, and lovely is the rose. The moon doth with delight look round when her heavens are bare. Waters on a starry night are beautiful and fair. The sunshine is a glorious birth, that their head away a glory from the earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Adya. Next comes Miss Aditya O.T. of 1st MA English with the poem The New Colossus by Emma Lazarus, which is a sonnet.
Not like the brazen giant of great fame, with conquering limbs stride from land to land. Here at our sea-washed sunset age shall stand a mighty woman, with a torch whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles. From a beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-filled tower that twin cities free. Keep ancient lands, yet starry form, shall Sree with silent dignity. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled mothers yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest tones to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door.
Thank you, dear. Next, here comes Tamjeed Mansur KP of 1st BA English with a lyric poem of Rudyard Kipling named If.
Good afternoon, everyone. So as mentioned, I'll be reciting the poem If, which can be viewed as a set of guidelines on how to act with integrity. If by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet the triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you have spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to, broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can walk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor living friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the ungiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Thank you.
Thank you, Damjit. Next, I invite Ms. Geedu William of 2nd BA English to recite the poem The Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth, which is a ballad.
The solitary reaper, behold her, single in the field, lone solitary highland lass, reaping and singing by her slave. Start there, or gently pass, alone she cuts and binds her leaves, and sings a melancholy strain. Oh, listen, for the wail profound is overflowing with the sound. No nightingale did ever chant more welcome notes to weary banks of travelers in some shady haunt among Arabian sands. A voice so thrilling never was heard in the springtime from the cuckoo bird, breaking the silence of the seas among the farthest hebris. Will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plaintive numbers flow for old, unhappy, far-off things and battles long ago. Or is it some more humble lay, familiar matter of some natural sorrow, loss, or pain that has been and may be again? Whatever the deep, maiden sang, as if her song could have no end. I saw her singing at her work, and over the sickle wind, I listened, motionless and still. And as I mounted up the hill, the music in my heart might go, long after it was heard no more. Thank you.
Thank you, Geedu. Now I invite Ms. Manisha Ian of 1st BA English with a sonnet by E. Cummings named I Carry Your Heart With Me.
I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I am never without anyone. I call my dear, and whatever is done by only me is your doing. I fear no pain, for you are my fate. I want no word so beautiful. You are my word. And if you are whatever a moon has always known, and whatever a sun will always see, is you. Here is a deepest secret not seen. Here is the roof of the tree, and the bird of the song, and the sky of the sky, of the ship of life, which grow higher than the storm can fall, or night can hide. And this is the wonder that keeping the strap apart. I carry your heart. I carry it in my heart. Thank you.
Vishal. Next is Gayatri A of First BA English with a poem Remember by Christina Rossetti, which is a sonnet.
Good evening, everyone. Remember by Cristiano Rossetti. Remember me when I'm gone away, gone far away into the silent land, when you can no more hold me by the hand, nor a half turn to go yet, turning still. Remember me when no more day by day, tell me of our future that you planned. Only remember me when you understand. It will be late to counsel then or pray. Yet, if you should forget me for a while and afterwards remember, do not grieve, for if the darkness and corruption leave a vestige of the thoughts that once I had better by far, you should forget and smile, than that you should remember and be sad.
Thank you, Gayatri. Now, the last among students, but not the least, here comes Miss Sree of 3rd BA English with the poem No Man is an Island by John Donne.
No man is an island, John Donne. No man is an island, entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a cloud be washed away by the sea, your out is less, as well as if a promontory were, as well as if the manner of thy friends, or of thine own were, any man's wealth diminishes me, because I am involved with mankind, and thereof never sent to know for whom the bell stalls, it stalls good. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. Now, with respect, I invite our Honorable Head of the Windover by Gerard Manley Hawkins, which comes under the honor sonnet. Ma'am, please.
Good evening. This is a poem written by Gerard Manley Hawkins in the year 1877. So the poem, The Windhover. A caucus morning's minion, kingdom of daylight stopping, dapper dawn drawn falcon in his riding of the rolling level underneath him, steady air, and striding high there, how he ran upon the rein of a pimpling wing. In his ecstasy, then off forth on swing, as the skate's heel sweeps smooth over a bob end, the hurl and gliding through past the big wing. My heart, in hiding, stirred for a bird, the action of, the mastery of the thing. Rude beauty and valor and art, and oh, air, pride, flew here, darkened, and the fire that breaks from thee then, a billion times told, lovelier, more dangerous, oh my chevalier. Sheer cloud makes flower-bound salient shine, and blue bleak embers are, my dear, fall, golden cells, and gash gold vermilion. And here is a poem sent by me, so I shall read that as a close of this poetry reading festival. This is titled Self and Freedom, an encounter. I thought I was free to do anything, free to express my feelings, free to tour anywhere I chose, free to own anything I liked, free to babble aloud my thoughts and pass lewd remarks, free to obstruct another's pathway. I
thought I was free and strong and powerful. I thought I was free and strong and powerful. So I flew sunward, spreading my wings and my plumage. There was an irresistible glow high above. The magnetic force of attraction I felt. And I was free to do anything. And I was free to do anything. The sun glowing above, more powerful, unyielding, with his radiating missiles, resisting my advances, burnt down my wings. An unsympathetic burning sky, lovely but deadly. The first setback. Why? I asked myself. I was free to do anything. Then why this? Am I not free? To think is to be full of sorrow. This is my poem, Self and Freedom and Encounter. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Shall we wind up? Vote of thanks. Rishi, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. It has been an engaging and informative past few hours as we delve into the world of poetry. I'm honored to have been given the privilege of proposing the vote of thanks and acknowledging the efforts of everyone who made this event a grand success. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Capt. Binoy Varakil for
She has muted. Unmute, please.
I apologize, there are some technical issues. I'm sorry. I'm honored to have been given the privilege of proposing the vote of thanks and acknowledging the efforts of everyone who made this event a grand success. First and foremost, I would like to thank Capt. Binoy Varakil for sparing time from his busy schedule to be here with us today. It was quite insightful to hear the thoughts of someone who's been writing poems and poems for such a long time. And your thoughts about the current state of poetry was very insightful. It serves as a reminder to all of us not to take poetry for granted. We've all just accepted that poetry has just existed forever. However, it's up to us to preserve poetry and not let it be an extinct art form. So your thoughts on poetry and the current state of poetry are extremely insightful, and I hope that the audience finds it helpful. Next, I'd like to thank the Honorable Principal, Dr. Devagiri, for giving us the opportunity to conduct this event. Gratitude is also due to the Department of English for making this happen, especially the head of department, Dr. Maya Devi, for guiding us and helping make this event possible. Also, the felicitatory recital by Ms. Sangeeta was also quite informative and well deserving of gratitude. Next, I'd like to extend my thanks to the students and teachers who took part in reciting poems. I'm sure that everyone in the audience will leave with a newfound love. And I'd also like to extend my thanks to the students and teachers. I'm sure that everyone in the audience will leave with a newfound love for the infinitely vast world of poetry that we have barely managed to scratch the surface of today. Next, I'd like to thank my fellow members of the